All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started. Did that wake everybody up? I want to be respectful of your time. I'm sure everybody's getting tired. I know it's been a long day, and hopefully everyone has gotten a lot out of the conference. Everybody enjoying it so far? Good, good. I'm really glad to see that we have actually more people than I was anticipating. I'm Lisa Holzberger. I'm with the City of Myrtle Beach, and I used to do addressing. I did it for 14 years for the city. And when I started there, I knew nothing about addressing. I actually had my predecessor trained me, and she did a very good job with it, so I'm very grateful to her. I had always wanted to just focus on GIS alone, and GIS and addressing, as you know, addressing is a full-time job. And I couldn't, focus on one or the other, and it was hard to kind of put the two together. So I finally convinced my new director that we needed to give it back to planning. So that's where our addressing is housed now, so they have it. But there's some parts of me that kind of gravitate back to the old days sometimes, and I do upload the data to CAD. So I am still involved from a digital perspective with the addressing. So again, thank you for being here. I wanted real quickly, if you don't mind, can we go around the room, and you don't have to say too much, but if you just say your name and where you're from. Do you mind starting?
Brittany Huffleton, Orange County.
Okay.
Michael Burton, Orange County.
Lori Mary, Orange County.
Great.
Chris, Orange County.
Kimberly Stewart, Gaston County. Katie Marie, Rutherford County.
Will Bradley, Holiday Beach.
Daniel Sanders, City of Arlington.
Monica Isley, Allenton.
Right.
Francis Smith, Moore County.
I think.
Austin, City of Asheville.
Okay. And where do we want to go now? I guess the three in the back. Go that way.
Stephanie Parker, County. Brandon Stewart, Beaver County. Austin Ryan, Beaver County.
Great. I'm going to start in the back there.
Tom Frico, City of Lakeland.
Great.
Lila White, Oakland County. Valerie Gray, Clinton, Indiana, Legend, South.
Cameron Dallas, Midwest County.
Chris Harvey, Brody, Colby.
Asheville, Maryland.
Drew Grinelli, I am with Dave Archive, Maryland as well.
Ryan Lynch,
Zach Lynn, Person County.
Person County.
Jason Walker, City of Durham.
Matthew Henry, South
Robert Appleby, GA Associates at Florida.
Okay.
Charles Swift, Wood County.
Ryan Saunders, Wood County. Kristen Young,
Dan Hoff, Wood County Public Schools.
Molly Harrison, Wood County Schools.
Great. Okay, did we get everybody? All right, thank you for doing that. I just kind of wanted to get a demographic of who we had in here. How many of you are currently using our listserv through the special interest group? I know some of your names are very familiar to me, and I'm I'm glad that it is being used. Have you found that to be very helpful, those of you that are using it? Because we're always open to suggestions, too, if there's anything that we can do better from Carolina Uris's perspective. I know we had asked you, and Katie, this is Katie Harper, and I promised I would not make her talk, so I'm not going to make her feel bad. But I'm so thankful for her, because this was so last minute that I got thrown into this, and she has been so helpful. And I had asked her to send out a request for agenda items for our meeting today. So we're going to go ahead and get to that real quick. So what was one of the first questions?
I think we had somebody ask about how we get a new street into Google.
Okay.
Everybody's had that
Yeah.
experience.
So has anybody had a successful experience with that?
Mine's always hit or miss.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
Googling, and maybe
Googled how to Google.
some kind of new Google Map Partner program,
Oh, okay.
but I was curious if anybody was actually using that.
That's the first I've heard of it. Yes, Allie.
The Google Map Partner content manager or whatever for my county. And Google Maps is so terrible in our county that it will set our firemen down big power lines.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm like, all right, that's what I can do. So I gave them our data set and
Meanwhile, when Lisa was out of the office, I was like, hey Google, there's a new street here, and it showed up the next day. So apparently I have to touch.
Yeah, so you just have to find the right person. I always had a struggle with Google too. And I'm sure all of you get calls. When I was doing addressing, I got calls all the time from internal and external customers. They can't find me. I'm expecting a delivery from UPS. The FedEx guy can never find my house. Da, 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 da. And they just didn't understand that I had no control over that. And Google hires third-party vendors to actually drive the streets, and it might take them 3 years to get to your community. Now imagine a place like my municipality in Myrtle Beach, where we have an influx of people right now that are moving from up north. Development is going haywire right now, and we can barely keep up with it ourselves with our own center lines data and address points. So let alone Google. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not doing the Google content editor. They wanted me to reviews on businesses. I was like, I'm not interested in that.
Right.
To collect their data. So my approach now is basically to spam them. I sit down in the morning, go to my area to see what needs to be, the one that needs to be updated. If it's not fixed, I send feedback. And I always put for Wake County GIS, thinking maybe somebody will understand that there's some.
Thank you.
Okay. I just keep doing it every morning or 3 mornings a week, something like that, until it sticks. Sometimes it only takes a week or so, sometimes it takes a couple months. But
She got my street name changed incorrectly.
Oh, good.
Eventually.
Wow. And you're right. The time, like you said, it can run the gamut. I mean, I've had some that I actually put a point on the map, and I submitted it. And I think one was done in a matter of days. And then there was one that took several months. And I thought at least it gets them a little closer, if anything, even if it's not completely accurate. And then you have something, you can at least show that you did your due diligence. You can go back to your customer and say, look, send them a screenshot or whatever, and just prove that you did what you could to help them out. But I know that they definitely expect the municipality to take care of it. And some of them didn't want to update their GPS devices either. I've had that problem too. And I'm like, that responsibility lies with you. Yeah, Matt. Well, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. What is that again? Peer? Oh, okay. I never heard of that. Okay.
so Peer.com updates Bing Maps. Sometimes it takes them a while to do it, but that is helpful. I also send
Thank you.
things to TomTom, which updates the iPhone map,
Okay. Yep.
and then OpenStreetMap.
Okay. Okay. That's very valuable. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Anything else on this topic that you guys want to talk about?
I could put a list, I send something on the list of what the addresses are that I use for those, like the URLs.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think everybody would agree. That's a great idea. Thank you for doing that. Yay. All right. One down. what was the other one that you had a question?
The other one we had, somebody was concerned with a rumor of maybe losing funding from the state for the PSAP. I was not aware of that, so I don't know. I can't remember now who was concerned or if anybody else had heard it.
Mm-hmm. That's the state of North Carolina. Just, yeah.
Okay.
Our 911 manager is the president of APCO, and so he told me that he heard through his APCO grapevine that 2021 they were no longer going to fund addressing functions through 911. That just seems so strange. How would you not fund addressing?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all.
A terrible horrible rumor, and it need not be broken.
Yeah. How many of you were in the Next Generation 911 presentation from Pokey? I love her name. I thought that was very good information. Obviously she didn't say anything about it, and I would think she would have brought that up she seems like the type that would have been on the up and up about that if she knew something. So, yeah, I don't foresee that. Of course, I'm not in North Carolina, so I shouldn't be talking like that. But how do you feel about Next Generation 911? Are you pretty good with it, or are you apprehensive about it, or everybody's okay? It's like, yeah, I know. I had mentioned, those of you that may have seen me, I had asked that question because South Carolina, I feel like we're behind the 8 ball with that. And we do have silos all over the state, and we're just not coming together as one cohesive unit. And I think that's what you need to make your Next Generation 911 successful. And I do believe North Carolina is on the right track for that, so that you guys have a good model to follow. I bring it up all the time to my 911 people in our local municipality that, we really need to get on board with this, and it just seems to go in one ear and out the other. So, but I'm not over addressing anymore, so I don't worry as much about that anymore. So it's not my issue now, but it's going to be somebody's issue. So, but I thought, like I said, I thought that was very good information. So definitely, if you didn't make it to that presentation, I suggest that you look at that when we post them later on after the conference.
Yeah, I do think the more I hear about it, it doesn't seem as scary as it could be. And they were talking about, I don't know if anybody missed it, she was talking about the next 3 years holding regional area meetings and mini sessions and putting out a lot more information. They're just waiting on setting up a contract with a vendor, and then they'll start sending out information. So far, it's hard to get a lot of definite information on it, but it looks like they have a plan.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes.
I'm not sure if there's a rumor like that started. Maybe it's because they're fearful that the MSAC coordinator position, or who handles that, and every PSAP might be eliminated. But I'm not even sure how that's funded. If they're really funded, I know that there's supposed to be a responsible party in every PSAP for maintaining Patty and Allie and the MSAC. Mm-hmm. But I don't see that going away. Even if all of that falls onto now a GIS or addressing the person in GIS or IT, I still think that's something that would need coordination through at every piece now. So I don't think anything like that will go away.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Be careful.
That MSAC is not going away for a little bit. That's still going to be related to it.
Yes.
More of a secondary source.
Mm-hmm.
So your center needs to answer the same questions as your MSAC. So that's why you got to get that really up to par. That MSAC is still going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I liked how she explained the digital flow, how the GIS is going to kind of integrate with the MSAG automatically. I love that. I know that was always one of my biggest pet peeves, was updating that MSAG. And then the county would always call me because their data was always out of date, and because they didn't pay attention to my emails that I sent out. They'd call me 3 months later, I don't have this range and whatever. And another issue that we had, I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but we have people from the utility companies, such as one of our local telephone providers, for example. She was infamous for not updating her data when I would send my emails out, and she would try to make me do it through the county. And I'm like, well, I don't even know. They use a program called Entrado. And I said, I don't even know what that is. And why do I have to do it? That's your responsibility. And I'm sending you the data. You update it. And it just became this huge circus always. But somehow they always tried to blame me. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced that.
So Carol isn't.
No, Connie. Believe me, and Connie's been there. Actually, Connie's boss intervened at one point because she had gotten complaints, and so she asked to be copied on future emails. So we definitely took care of that. But I have a bunch of war stories from my old days of of addressing, but I'm not going to depress anybody. Anything else? I think that was all for the agenda items that we had. But any other issues? I mean, we can have a therapy session in here if there's anything else you want to talk about besides addressing. That's fine. I'm a good listener. Chris, did you have anything to add from your perspective? I know you guys have done a lot at BCS with, I'm not trying to give you a plug, but I do love my BCS people though. But if you had anything new on the horizon with anything you're developing that would make addressing easier for us.
It will certainly, we stay apprised of it. There's some GIS concerns going that data is also feeding permitting systems. Things like that. So, obviously, we're it's siloed in terms of addressing.
Mhm.
This is other than for each and other municipalities in the state of South Carolina, all the other major municipalities
Mhm.
are using our framework. So
Good.
all that, if we could ever get a statewide initiative
Right.
or a statewide data set,
Mhm.
all of our things will work easily.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I know you keep your ear to the ground with things like that, but have you heard any updates on that? I know our state GIS coordinator isn't there anymore. So has his position been filled? Do you know?
that I haven't heard.
Okay.
Dr. Troy is now actually back in saving.
Oh, is he? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
But unfortunately, I know you know the tenuous position that he had.
Mm-hmm.
His salary, it never felt like he had
Right.
had a carte blanche to really kind of drive that direction in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I think he took first on board.
Right.
To my knowledge, I haven't heard that position.
Okay. Maybe we could hire Pokey. I would love to have her. She's great. I really like her. All right. Anything else? This is your time. And anything pressing? Any issues you've dealt with in the past with the dressing? It's okay to. Nothing's embarrassing to ask. We've all been there, done that. Who's been doing a dressing for, let's say, 5 years? Raise your hand. Okay. About 10 years. Okay. Anyone more than 10 years? Okay. Wow. Okay. I was just curious. All right. Yeah, like I said, I had 14 years under my belt. So, all right. Did most of you have experience with the dressing when you went into it, or is it something you kind of fell into? I'm just kind of curious how people get started. No. How did you get started?
That was the job posting. So I'm
Oh.
going into it, that was
See, they trick you, right? No, that happened to me too. Good. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, because I was taking a GIS. It was a technician position to start with, and the my predecessor who had it before me, she said, "Well, you're going to be in IT, so you'll be doing a little bit of everything. You'll get to do GIS, you'll get to do IT, and you have a dressing." She said, "But I'm going to show you how to do it." She said, "But we're going to fight to get it back in planning because that's where it needs to be." And I said, "Okay." So we had a meeting with all the higher ups, and they said, "Well, no, we think you should just hold on to it just because the planning director didn't want to take it back." And then we fought that battle for 14 years. Like I said, I finally got it back over there. So do most of you have a dressing housed in planning or all different departments? Where's it at with you? In tax office. Okay. Okay. Yep.
Ours is in GIS, and I took it from planning. We're doing such a lousy job.
Oh, we're okay. Hey, you took the initiative. All right. So I'm sure it's 100% now.
I'm happy to correct their errors.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, I applaud you. Good job. Yes.
Now I don't want the department that it needs to be in IT or GIS. because
Okay.
we have enterprise data sets and enterprise
Uh-huh.
data set that should serve all the needs instead of just planning. And in my
Right.
situation in Raleigh, when I was there, we took it from planning and brought it
Okay.
to IT because it's the same thing.
Mhm.
All they cared about is they had to get a flat out the door and they weren't
Mhm.
downstream about all the other people.
Mhm.
What's going on.
Right. And spatially speaking, yes, I totally agree with that. I just didn't want to be the one doing it, but I think it needs to be. I wouldn't have minded having an addressing technician, somebody working for me to do that would be fine. I just couldn't do both jobs and do a quality job with both of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody has address and professional things. We really think that it should be recognized as a profession,
Yes.
part of a profession in and of itself.
Yep.
And that addressing things don't get the recognition that they should get.
I think we'd all agree with that. I should have had a cake or something for you guys. Why didn't I think of that? In 2 years, I'm going to have that for you. Did you have another question or comment? Oh, okay.
Same thing. Kind of took it from planning.
Mhm.
I guess it officially still belongs in planning, but I involve it.
Yep.
They ask me for everything. So
Oh, okay.
they're interested in planning.
That's what they do. They're planners.
Not build,
Yeah.
permitting or billing
Right.
or 911. They're interested in planning. So,
Mhm.
they don't care if somebody else creates a 101 Donald Duck Lane.
Right.
And that was happening a
That's
lot.
true.
And since everything hits the GIS, just about everything.
Right. It sure does.
We were always having curriculum problems, so we just kind of took over.
Yep.
And not officially, but everybody calls us when they have a question, when they want some research on an address, they need a new address, and then we pretty much notify planning.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
That's great. No, that's whatever works. We just want it to be a smooth flow, just as long as everybody's doing what they need to do and talking to who they need to talk to. So, well, is there anything else you want to cover? So we've got, let's see. I mean, we had 30 minutes, so, we can go at any time. Like I said, I want to be respectful of your time. I know everybody's probably dragging by now and getting hungry. So, but you have it if you need it. All right. Well, please stay on the listserv. We appreciate that. And if you want to subscribe to that, you can go to the Carolina ERISA website to get involved with that, because we do have a lot of good dialogue on that. And we appreciate it. And we're always open to any suggestions. And hopefully we'll see you in 2 years at the next conference. All right. You guys take care.